Welcome to the podcast. My name is Jamie Knight, and I'm a realtor with Real Broker here in Cajun Country, Lafayette, Louisiana. The goal of this podcast is to provide massive value by bringing insider access to our area's top agents and find out how they've been able to achieve massive success in their business. My hope is that you take a few things away from their experiences to grow your own business. My guest today is a good friend and fellow real agent, Cameron Luquette. Cameron has been in the real estate business for over 10 years and has built a solid foundation with past clients and sphere of influence. Welcome to the podcast, Cameron.
Hey, Jamie. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Yeah,
it was fun to visit and catch up with you, man, and hear some of your stories, so I wanted to lay it down on a podcast, man. So tell me how you got into the real estate business and give us a little framework there on where you came from and how you got here.
Yeah, for sure. So I graduated UL in like 2013, and I'd been working at Zia Rotisserie and Grill while I was in college.
Best restaurant in town.
It's amazing. Oh God, Thai ribs, duck empanadas, Asian almond shrimp, still classics. We visit frequently still.
Nice.
But yeah, so I graduated, and I think like a lot of us didn't know exactly what we wanted to do once we do graduate college.
Right. What did you graduate college from?
Yeah, UL, and I have a communications degree, so
nice.
Really nothing important.
I gotcha. Well, I'm in industrial technology, so mine has absolutely nothing to do with real estate.
Exactly. So, kind of went on a couple different job interviews for like wine rep sales and stuff like that, and my mom works at Walgreens. She still works at Walgreens, and one day a customer right in front of her like forgot her wallet or whatever, and Jana Hickey, who's a realtor here in town as well, she offered to pay for the lady's groceries, which was a nice thing to do, just being nice. And my mom was like, "Oh, that was so nice, I can't believe you did that," just making conversation. And Jana had her name tag on.
Right.
I have an uncle who owns a couple rentals, and we've had the conversation of building wealth through rentals through the years, me and him. And I'd always kind of considered doing real estate at some point. So yeah, Jana gave her a card, said, "Hey, if your son's really interested, have him reach out to me. We can set up an appointment and meet." And kind of the rest is history.
Nice.
Met Jana randomly, and we kind of hit it off, and she kind of mentored me right when I got started. So yeah, it's been good.
That's awesome, man. That's a cool story. I'm gonna have to make sure we tag her in this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe we'll get her on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's.
She has a pretty interesting story too. I think she was working for a Canadian ambulance and then got let go, and then all of a sudden she was like, "I got to go find another career," So
gotcha.
She'd be a good guest to have.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to hear her story. And I think her mom was in the business. Her mom was in the real estate.
Yeah, her mom was in business
Charlotte,
right before.
Charlotte. She's awesome too, both of them. Right?
Yeah, you should have them on at the same time, actually. That'd be interesting.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, so one thing too is a couple podcasts back, I had Cody on the podcast, Cody Musgrove, and he talked about not really loving necessarily being a realtor. So you seem to resonate with that a little bit.
Well, I can relate with it. I think with any job, like some people don't absolutely love their job, and like he said too, you can be really good at something and not love it. There's certain aspects of real estate that I do love, unlike Cody.
Right.
Like I enjoy negotiating the deals, finding unique ways to keep deals together. I don't know, a lot of times agents just find ways to kill deals for no apparent reason. So I like to be the guy who can take a deep breath. Yeah, take a deep breath. Let's figure this out and try to get it to the closing table. I want everyone to get paid, and I want the buyers and sellers both to be happy. So if I can find that out, that's what I enjoy doing. I don't enjoy finding new clients. Sometimes that can always be a little rough, but
right.
When you've been in business for 10 years, you build a sphere of influence that keeps feeding you business, which is what I've been blessed to do so far. So
gotcha. How do you reach your sphere? What kind of things are you doing to reach those people?
So I've done client events in the past. I heard on the podcast with you and Paige, you do a newsletter, and I do one as well. So monthly newsletters are great, especially if you personalize it a little bit.
Right.
I'm not a subscriber to yours. I need to subscribe.
I need to get you on the email so you can see what we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. But if you tell your story of what you're doing, how you're living your life, clients want to see that as well. And then also throw in knowledge of what the current market is. a little bit of statistics and just keep people familiarized with what's going on in our area. I think that's super important. I do home anniversary notifications and try to like always keep myself and my business first in mind and give praise to my clients for continuing to send me business, basically. So
nice. So those home anniversaries, that's like a card or like an email. How do you set those up?
Yeah. So basically I have like a spreadsheet of everything, how I run my business. So all of my closings, who I'm currently working with, clients A, B, and C of 30 days, 90 days, 6 months out. And then I have a tab on there with home anniversaries where every month I have it blocked out. So what I'll do, I'll go on Canva, take a screenshot of their house, make a quick little flyer, say, hey, happy 3rd or 4th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And then send it to them in a text and just say, hey, thanks for, buying and selling with me or whatever. And just a constant reminder to keep me first in mind. So
yeah, I like that. That's cool. So you do it via text. And you just set your note like in your iPhone calendar for that? Is that how you do it?
I usually do it the first Friday of every month, basically. That way I can keep it consistent. I know when it's going out. It only takes me 2 seconds to do the Canva artwork. Simple. It's really just taking a photo and then changing the number on it. So it's nothing crazy and it's not time consuming. And it's a good way to just keep in touch with your people. Yeah. It's at least one touch a year. Where I try to touch every client probably 4 times a year at least, minimum. So.
And you're doing that by phone or text?
Yeah, phone, text, email. I have different scenarios, and I send out Christmas cards. All the typical stuff that most realtors do.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think that's a great idea. I know send out cards is one thing that I have, and I haven't really set that up perfectly, but that's cool because you can kind of automate like an actual card, a birthday card, or a home anniversary card. And I had that set up at one point, but it's kind of fallen off. So I need to get back on that.
I follow another real agent in Houston, and what she started doing, which I thought was a cool little little advancement on that home anniversary, was she started filming a quick video of doing like a home anniversary and then also a quick CMA to update her clients on like what the worth, what the value of their house is. And I was like, man, that's a great way to like actually get in front of your clients too, like sending them a quick video and just providing value in a different way as well. I thought that was unique. So I may try to test that out next month and see how that goes,
Yeah, I think obviously improving that is always great. I know one thing that I do, and I highly recommend this too, is when you have these past clients that, purchased a home, let's just say in a certain subdivision, well, they need to be receiving homes that sell and come on the market in that same subdivision, set up through MLS, our local MLS, as a prospect, and receiving those homes, because it's an automated deal. It's something that you're going to do whether you're even looking at the real estate market that's going to send them content. So that's something that I've done. I wish I would have done that 20 years ago and have had it set up 20 years ago
for sure.
For everybody. I feel like I'd have been more consistent with that. But I have friends who they've used me to sell their property, and we all have these type of friends where they're business guys or girls, and they're super popular and they know a ton of people.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Then they're like, man, I know 20 realtors, but you've constantly sent me homes for sale in my neighborhood, recent sales. So I've been able to track my value, and now it's time for me to sell.
For sure.
So it's like, that's a huge way for realtors to like, hey, what's one thing I can do to talk to my clients and set up those automated things that can feed your people with valuable content that's valuable to them.
Right.
It's not valuable to Jamie, it's specific to the client.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I just love that. So like I actually had a conversation with an agent in my squad over here, and she was like, hey, what things can I do to get on the phone with my past clients? I said, look, those past clients need to be receiving homes in their neighborhood when they sell on MLS automatically set up, and they need to be receiving your weekly email.
Sure.
If and when that got set up. I'm not sure if she's got it set up or not, but that's a really good thing, I think, is reaching your people where they are and finding out those things that are interesting to them.
Yeah.
So I love that you're doing that home anniversary thing, because that's so huge, man. It's just the little things that you do that makes you, Cam, as my realtor, so I think
Exactly.
that's huge that you're doing that.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
but is there anything else on that you're doing with your past clients that maybe we didn't miss or we missed?
No, I mean, I think that's the gist. I mean, like you said, like it's super important to just keep you being first of mind. I think we have like 2,000 realtors in our board too. So anything that you can do to stand out to your client base. I kind of have a philosophy of, in your client sphere, you have 36 people that, I call them my 36 A's of clients who are always going to refer you because you've done such a great job and you built such a great business for them. And you can only have so much space to service those clients. Like you can have, for me at least, I think 36 A's and then like 96 B's. So like the B's are people who are still going to refer you business, but like I said, there's 2,000 realtors in Lafayette or in the Acadian area. So you just have a lot of competition. So if you stay in front of those people, that's the most important thing. But just servicing those clients to the best of my abilities has paid off for me, at least at this point. So
yeah, that's awesome. And you hear people talk about, oh, I don't like to cold call or I don't like to do this. Well, I mean, you gotta like calling your clients.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
for sure.
the thing. You gotta like it. And I feel like sometimes like I use social media like in reverse, right? Like I'm not like I'm seeing maybe that they're posting about something, right? Like I had a good client yesterday, matter of fact, that I'm like, I saw her daughter was like top racer in a meet at Turling's, so she was like number one in the state or whatever. So I call her, text her, hey, congratulations on your daughter's super success in the track meet. But we always, we use social media and we see, okay, well, so-and-so graduated recently. It's graduation season right now. Be like, hey, let me, send them a little graduation card or call them and be like, man, that's so exciting. I can't believe so-and-so's graduating. I can't believe she's that big. He's that big, whatever. And what is he going to be doing after graduation? So it just opens up using social media in that way. And then being intentional with your clients. Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's a good way to do things too.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the power of social media in today's world, especially for someone who's in our industry or sales in general, where you want to build a relationship with your people. You can kind of like not spy on your people, but you can keep track of their lives, and that's what I try to do with my social media too, where it is business related, but then I also share about my girls and my life and like the activities that we're doing, because people want to see that too. They relate me with being a girl dad and doing the things that we do as a family, of going to the park or taking the girls, out for ice cream and stuff like that. They like to see that stuff, and makes you relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about it, because you have a new one on. You have a
so we have 3-year-old Sawyer, and then Landry, who's about to be 3 months, and girls, man, they're feisty. But I know you have the twin boys, and our best friends have both have boys as well. So we have 2 girls and they have 2 boys, and it is completely different. It is completely different.
For sure, man. My boys are on a trip right now, and they are. Mom and my older daughter. I do have a daughter too, so I do have that daughter. She's amazing, of course, but she's older now too, and I've got her past the teenage years and that kind of stuff. So that's huge. But just the kids are a blessing, right? But they're just so much work, So
I say this too. Like my oldest and my youngest have been 2 totally different babies. Our first little girl was just so easy. She was just easy to put down, slept well, ate well, all that fun stuff. And the second one has been a whirlwind a little bit. She's been feisty and not as easy. So me and my wife have been working overtime to try to get her situated. Luckily, my wife's a teacher, so she's gonna be off all summer and try to get her right now. Yeah, get her in the best routine and everything. So, but it's been fun. Girls are fun. She hasn't started like painting my nails yet, but I know that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love them, man. They're fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I love my daughter's more like me than, than anything else. So she's she's outgoing. She's a go-getter, and it's been fun to watch her grow up. And now she did the dancing and the sports and everything else.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And I'm sure they're going to be getting into all that stuff.
Well, we're in the middle of potty training right now, and we have a potty training chart for Sawyer, and she's pretty outgoing as well. My wife brought her to Target the other day, and there's a worker at Target, and she just went up to her and said hi, and she's like, "Hey, I didn't have any accidents today." And my wife's like, "Sawyer, what? Stop telling everyone this," So she's outgoing. She'll talk to anybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to see their personalities and everything. So
yeah, maybe she'll be a second generation realtor. Right? Yeah. Thanks to Jana.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So, but yeah, that's awesome. So tell us about too, because I mean, I talk to people all the time who have young kids, and they're like, I have one child or whatever. And I was even joking with Cody about it earlier. I mean, just like, having one child versus having two. Like, we've got the twins, and one baby, I think in our mind was, hey, that was going to be okay, man. You can go to Target with one baby, but you get into two, and now it's a game changer. So now you got two.
For sure.
So it's a little bit of a game changer. So tell us a little bit about how that.
Yeah, well, with one, you don't have to conquer and divide. You can all hands on deck with just that one. But when you have two, you and your wife or you and your partner have to like physically split up and try to try to take care of both at the same time. So it's definitely been an adjustment. What I love about real estate and having kids, like for me, I've built a community of great realtors around me that helps me like service my clients even when we're in the thick of things,
right.
Which is one of the pluses about having a career and being surrounded by like great agents, having a support staff around you, but. Yeah, the whole one kid to two kid has been an adjustment even for that. So it's fun, man. Though I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I know that you had been kind of having your eyes on Real for a little while before you made the jump. So talk to us a little bit about how you kind of came to the office and what was it that I guess maybe initially attracted you to what we were doing over here?
Yeah, so like I said, I follow this other agent in Houston, the Move to Texas group. I don't know if you've seen any of her online advertisements or online social media presence. She kills it, and but yeah, I followed her videos and stuff, and kind of looked at the model then. And I'd been with my other brokerage for 9 years before making a switch, and just did a little bit of research. And once District South kind of moved to Real, and I noticed just some of the other top producing agents around town all kind of. It looked like everyone was making a move, So when you're at one place for so long, you kind of look around and say, okay, so what is everyone else seeing that I'm not seeing? And what are some of the top agents in town seeing that I'm not seeing? Like, what's the opportunity there?
Right.
So just doing a little bit more research and I think Sean said it best a while back of he missed out on a great opportunity somewhere else, and we have that same opportunity out in front of us to build futures for us here, and I think we have the best agents in town, so
yeah,
it just made sense.
Nice.
Yeah, in that aspect for me. So
yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, because I think that's the biggest thing that people are maybe not seeing is that District South has had an amazing core group of people. Now, I came from another local brokerage, and I had been there for 18 years. A majority of my career was at that other local brokerage. And I mean, just the idea of coming into District South and like them just welcoming me with open arms was awesome, you know. Sure. And they knew my experience and my background and, kind of the heart that I have for helping other agents. And I think that was just awesome to be welcomed into our community. And even, like all the new people that came on, because of like District South was kind of limited on their capacity of who they could take on
Right, yeah.
in the model that was there in that traditional brokerage.
Yeah.
I think they were at 40 or 50 agents and were like kind of about to burst at the seams with what they could actually physically take on. But having this opportunity has increased our office to, 100 plus agents now, and then nationwide in a huge network.
For sure,
has been huge.
Yeah, and I think what we're building here is pretty special too. Being a cloud-based brokerage, sometimes you can kind of feel alone in that space, but we have this great office space. Agents come here and sit and work and do their own thing. But even this morning we were sitting around just kind of chit-chatting with a couple agents, and we're all working through deals together. So, when you get that camaraderie and you get that experience from the other agents here, I just think that's so valuable,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and people it's very collaborative. So people are very like open and willing to share and just getting to have the community of agents who are just so willing to not keep their success under wraps, so that no one else kind of finds out about that. Like that's huge, man. So so tell us a little bit maybe about some hobbies, some things that you're like interested in. What's some things that you're interested in? I know you listen to a lot of podcasts, so it's fun that you get to be on one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have like a weekly calendar of like podcasts that come out that I listen to at least. I'm kind of NFL football junkie. So there's one podcast in particular that comes out with an episode every Monday and Wednesday. So drive to work, dropping off the little one. That's what I have on in the car and stuff. And I honestly, my hobbies are selling real estate, taking care of my girls, and then hanging out with our group of friends that we kind of hang out with. And me and my wife, we both like to read, so we do a bunch of reading. One of my favorite authors is Ryan Holiday. He's written some great books on like stoicism and how that relates to the world today. Stuff like that. I know Cody likes to golf. I like to play Topgolf because I am not a golfer.
I know. I've seen it. We both have about the same golf swing.
Exactly.
It's not pretty. But it's fun for Topgolf.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, man, I like to. I like to continue like education I like watching YouTube videos on different investment strategies in real estate and stuff like that. Me and my wife have a couple rentals and everything, and just building wealth that way. So
nice.
That's something that's important to me and to my family, of like, hey, how can we build wealth for our girls and in the future and continue that path, So
yeah, I like that too. That's actually one of the main reasons why I got into the real estate business.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I kind of graduated from UL, and I was graduate in industrial technology. So I was kind of like, let me go work offshore, because I guess that's what you think about when you're like growing up in our area. You think, I'm going to go ahead and, get a degree, and I'm going to go work offshore and make whatever amount of money and live half my life on an oil rig, right? But that was something that I thought was for me at that time in my life. So whenever I kind of was working like 2 or 3 jobs at the time. I had my daughter was young at that time, 20 years ago, and my son was just born. So I had kind of somebody that I was liked, that I respected. And I was like, man, like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, but I was like, my choices are either A, go sweep shop floors at Halliburton and work your way up and get to go work offshore or whatever.
Right.
And I had a degree, but I didn't have any experience in that career path.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really want to invest in real estate. I thought it was an interesting topic. I was like, man, like, I really want to do flips, or I want to do rental properties. So somebody was like, man, you should just get your license, just start like understanding the market. And like, I thought it was like kind of the most bizarre thing. You're just like, okay, well, cool, I'll just try that. Mm-hmm. And 20 years later, here we are still trying to, I still buy investment properties, and
Sure.
we've got, quite a few now through the years, and I've flipped probably, I don't know, 10 houses or something through the years, and that's been cool until my accountant said you're going to have to shut that down because of the way you're showing your profits and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
you hear a lot of people get into it because of just the interest in rental properties.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think that's...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why I got into it. And then you start developing relationships with clients and start servicing them and realize like, hey, you're pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And then you can build it into a pretty profitable business. And, being a real estate agent, even though you're with a company, like you run your own business the way you want. So, everyone gets into real estate for probably their own reasons, but and there's so many different avenues too. I was meeting with a guy this morning about getting into real estate, and that's exactly what he said. Like, I want to learn how to fix and flip houses. I'm like, hey, that's a great opportunity and a great way to get in the business, but if you become a realtor and you can start learning the market and learning, everything about the whole process,
right.
then, it only is going to educate you and make you better at fixing and flipping and finding better deals and how to navigate that while you're negotiating it. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's been fun, and also you get to take a little commission,
for sure.
when you buy a property or whatever, however you want to structure it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is there anything else that maybe you'd want to tell other agents and give them a little bit of encouragement as far as like, things that you're doing that you might say, hey, a new agent's coming in, like let's just say this guy comes in, and he's gonna, like, what would you tell him? How would you tell him to build his business to where he can have longevity? 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
How would you tell him about that? For
sure. I think it's one, setting a schedule that's consistent. I feel like everyone gets in real estate for the free time, right, or for the flexibility. But if you don't have a set schedule of doing the same like mundane task every day, which is, reaching out to people to see if they're interested in buying or selling real estate, then, it's kind of futile, you're just going to be chasing your tail basically. So having that set schedule where you can set some time to be proactive in your business and run your business like a business, I think that's pretty important. And then also just find the people who know, like, trust you, and service them, whether it's through real estate or some other capacity. Build a relationship with those people that they know, because we all have the people in our life who trust you, and if you have a client that trusts you and they have their own sphere of people, they're going to refer you business. That's just the way it works, so finding those people in your life that you can count on to keep feeding you business down the road and building great relationships with people, I think that's the most important thing for a new agent. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of new agents are out there, they're trying to, they want to go play around on social media. And I say play around on social media, social media can be a good tool, but
yeah,
they want to just go and scroll and everything else, or they'll come to the office and scroll, and it's not, they're not intentional about what they're doing with their business. So it's tough to see the fruits of the labor that you're putting in, especially with trying to build a referral-based business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that's, I think a lot of agents will get started and they won't see that bear fruit.
For sure.
And then they get frustrated. So like, let's talk about that too. Like if you had to go again from scratch without a client base, like what would you do? You've got nothing and you've got to get a deal, this month to pay bills. Like what are you doing at that point if you're a new agent?
I mean, there's a couple things that I would probably do. One is, if you have zero clientele base, you got to be out in front of people. So whether that's doing open houses and door knocking, that's something that I've done in the past to get started. At the old brokers that I was at, there was phone desk opportunities.
Right.
That's where I got my first deal. It was like a $450,000 buyer who called in on a house and wanted to go see it. So, just getting in front of maximum amount of people. And then I'd also recommend finding a mentor, especially in this business. everyone can run their business a little bit different, but if you have someone who has experience and time and they have a set system in place, why not try to learn exactly what they're doing? When I first got started, I brought a commercial deal to Stephen Hunley, who is at Mo Brokerages, and he's with us here now. And I had no idea, what to do with a commercial deal whatsoever. And just a little bit of an initiative to, I'm like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but look, if you want to work this deal with me together, I'd love the opportunity to learn from you. And then, he was busy at that time, so he let me do some other tasks for him, and just learning the craft of what he was doing and taking what's successful for him and making it in my own way has paid off pretty well for me, So bringing value to someone else while also learning their systems and making it your own, I think that's super important as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like a new agent too, like they've got time, whereas like an experienced agent, you might not have time.
Yeah,
but
100%.
being able to say, hey, like, dude, I'll go show that property for your buyers. I know you'll probably write the contract or whatever, but like, I'll go show it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got time, or you get calls on your listings, dude, like, I'll go right now and show it to them.
For sure. When COVID happened and we had Sawyer, my first little girl, I had a group of agents in a group text, and like, hey, if I have someone who needs to go see a house, or if I need something, like, I would text them and see who's available, obviously compensate them for their time. But just having those, other agents there who are, one, willing to help, want to hustle, and willing to learn, and then also be a part of like what you're doing. I think that's huge. So
yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, just being a part of a group of agents is huge, and being at office meetings. I always tell people that come on, I was like, come to office meetings. You learn so much
for sure,
and you're around other realtors that are top producers, and just being in that room is huge. Like, people would pay to be in that room.
Yeah,
people who really see the value in it would just hundreds of millions of production.
Yeah.
Even at our office meeting this morning, still just tons of that type of caliber of agent, and you just learn so much from them. And people are like, here's the playbook, dude.
Yep.
I just feel like part of the problem, and the main problem with why people don't succeed, is they're not used to running their own business.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not used to doing what they have to do every day, coming to the office, making the calls that they have to make. If you worked, and I tell people this like all the time, like, if you worked this career 40 hours a week, like as if you would be going to work at any other place, you would totally crush it working 40 hours a week.
100%.
But I mean, it's funny because it's like you have the flexibility. So then you just go. Yeah, that's why I said, just, you got to get out the house. For me, especially with young kids, I'm like, I got to get the hell out of the house.
100%.
Like, because I can't.
There's no working at home with the two girls. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's no way.
I am the toy. They want to play with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we're similar in that too. I mean, like, my boys are like right at the gate. They're trying to climb the gate and come be with me because I'm in the office trying to work. I mean, I got to go outside or just leave because like I can't make it with that. So coming to an actual physical office is huge. I think, just coming in, and even if you grab me like you do a lot, you just grab your laptop, go in the back and just hammer out stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I try when I come to the office too, like I try to get here for at least like 8:39 and then work here until 12. Get all the office hours out the way, get all the calls out the way, whatever I need to do. And then I like to be out the office after that, like from 12 on, whenever, if I'm going on appointments, that's usually what I have set. But even if not, I'll go work at a coffee shop doing admin work, if I absolutely need to. But yeah, I agree. Having a set schedule and having like somewhere to be is nice. And like I said, the camaraderie here, coming to the office meetings, I mean, it's invaluable, I think. I agree with you. So
Yeah, for sure. And we can do more podcasts on schedules, because schedules are huge. You also want to have some time that you're spending like in the market, learning the market every day. I try to spend time in the market, seeing what's new, seeing what's sold, seeing what's pended, seeing what got reduced, seeing what got expired. Like, I want to know the market. So every day I spend time in the market too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, I think that's another thing that, as a part of new agent schedules is spending the time learning the market, because like you just see opportunities sometimes.
For sure.
It's like the red car theory. You know, you don't see it unless you're looking for it.
It's funny that you say that, because I look at the hot sheet, which is, you know, what we use to see what hits the market daily. I always look at it through like my client's perspective of like, hey, is this a good deal for someone that I'm currently working with? But, you know, having an investor mindset for yourself too. Like, is this a good deal for me? You know, I didn't have that mindset until pretty recently, to be honest with you, because I'm pretty client-based, service-based. I want to like find the best deal for my clients. But, you know, being an investor too, you know, you want to look for deals that work for you. I don't know if you know Lucius Hornsberry very well, but one morning he just, you know, we linked up and he's like, hey, did you see this piece of land that hit the hot sheet today? It's like, I saw it, but I didn't necessarily look at it very hard. And he's like, I think this is a great opportunity. I think it's undervalued by like $100,000. I'm like, let me go look at this again, you know, and he had already wrote an offer on it and got accepted.
Right.
But, you know, it's just stuff like that where, you know, the hot sheet's there for everyone, including yourself, you know. So,
right.
But yeah, knowing the market, if you look at it every day, you can find deals that pop up and they're there for you, you know. So
yeah, or even things that are interesting to your clients that you maybe didn't have, and you call them, hey, you know that piece of land or that property came up in a client's neighborhood, and you're just like,
exactly.
Hey. Then you don't know if you'd notice, but hey, check this out. This came out. It looks cheap. Looks like a foreclosure. You know anybody that wants to be in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then when you get them thinking like that,
for sure,
you get them visualizing the person that could potentially buy that great deal that's in their neighborhood.
Exactly.
So I like that kind of stuff too. But, you know, you'd never get that unless you're like in the market.
Yeah, in the market.
Looking every day. So a realtor, a successful top producer, needs to be living and breathing and in the market every single day of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
So like that's something like when you're looking at like laying out a good success schedule, add in like an hour or 30 minutes of like just true like market like research.
Yeah, for sure.
Just in general of the market. So I think if people are listening, that might be one thing to incorporate into your daily schedule, because I think the theme that you can see over these podcasts is a good daily schedule for top producers. I would say that's probably one of the things that is an overwhelming trend in these podcasts. Absolutely. Is talking about a good schedule, and I think that's where a top producer is separated from a non-top producer. Is a top producer is they live and die by their schedule, and I think a lower producer is, let me just let the day happen to me, whatever that is.
Freelance realtor.
Exactly, and I'll just get whatever I get from whatever my day gave me and wherever we go with our day. So I think that's definitely something that we can say as something. So is there anything else that you want to tell them? So because I'll try to maybe wrap up, you know.
No, man, I think that pretty much covers everything. I know that when Sam was on here and he gave that story about his cat experience.
Okay.
I was thinking back on like any opportunity or any showings that I've had that on, and not necessarily a dead cat, but I was showing a foreclosure, like a really nice house. So I was shocked that it was a foreclosure, probably right when I was getting started. And the lockbox was on the back door, so undo the lockbox. I got there before the clients got there. And as soon as you open the door, it smelled like death. Pretty similar to what Sam went through. So I walk in and notice there was no electricity on, and there was a deep freezer that was just oozing.
Oh, beautiful.
Oozing
the gravy.
Gelatin. Yeah, the gravy. That's the
gravy.
That's a great way
Cajun
to put it.
gravy.
Yeah, oh, gosh.
Whatever was left in that freezer that got.
Yeah. So I walked in and almost hurled, and then walked out, let it air out before the clients got there, and they did not like it. Did not like the house, but that was not a great experience. That's probably the lowest of the low right there.
Yeah, like what am I doing with my life now?
Yeah. When your clients show up and your face is green, about to hurl outside. So, but yeah, that's my crazy cat story, I think. So
I got you. Well, I'm not going to make you sing, so that's good. Sam.
Yeah,
did
I don't think no one wants to hear that. So
yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm so excited that we were able to get this laid down, dude. This is awesome, man. I appreciate you joining us on the podcast. podcast, and hope some people got some value out of what you bring to the table in your 10 years.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This was awesome. Like I said, I'm a podcast junkie, so I've listened to almost every episode that you put out, and I think this is a great opportunity for agents to kind of dive in and see what other agents are doing in our market and around the nation and stuff. So
yeah, cool, man. I'm so excited that people could kind of hear your story, and for sure, man. So I'm glad, and I appreciate everyone that's tuning in and listening to the podcast, man, because it's been fun for me, and it's been fun to kind of get to hear people's stories, and I'm growing as an agent from listening to y'all's stories, and it's inspiring me. Or I got a little nugget today about the home anniversary thing. So I appreciate you sharing some of the things that are working for you, and I hope that agents connect with you. We'll put some of your information up on the podcast so that people can connect with you around the nation if they vibe with the way that you do your business. I hope that they reach out to you on social media. So again, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us that we can connect and we can share our stories of crazy Cajun stories in Lafayette, Louisiana. So Cam, appreciate it again, my brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.